Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Back on the topic of the NFL. We're now, within 2 weeks of the start of the season. So today, Jay and I are going to be looking at our top favorite matchups for the first week of the NFL season. We got 5 main ones and a couple other honorable mentions. But before we get into the video, question of the day, now that we're coming up on the beginning of the season, drop your early Super Bowl predictions in the comments below. And at the end of the video, Jay and I will give you our predictions. But Jay, why don't you start with some of the matchups you're most excited about?
Yeah, before we get into the 5 main ones, 2 honorable mentions I do kind of like just due to the drama aspect. I like Jets at Carolina, as we all know if you don't live under a rock. Sam Darnold being traded away from the Jets to Carolina. It's cool to see them in week 1. If this was hidden in the schedule of week 4, week 6, week 12, no one really cares. But being week 1, it's an interesting matchup. Another honorable mention, Miami at New England. It's good because it's just a division rival, but I do think if Mac Jones starts him against Tua, the 2 former Alabama teammates, that does have a little bit more drama and interest behind it. You want to say anything about those?
No, you hit it right on the head. I think it's my advantage goes to Carolina over the Jets, but it could go either way. But I'm excited to see Darnold against his original former team, and the same thing you just said about Miami versus New England. We could see a matchup of 2 former Alabama starters. So, yeah, I like those 2 games a lot, too.
Yeah. First big one, though, I think everyone's pretty excited for this just because it's the kickoff. Boys at Bucs. Dak Prescott versus Tom Brady. Who doesn't want to see that? America's team versus the reigning Super Bowl champs. This is obviously going to be, I think, a shootout type of game. We know how good the Bucs defense is and how much the Cowboys defense struggles. But still, when you got Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, hopefully a bounce-back Ezekiel Elliott, hopefully a bounce-back offensive line, Michael Gallup, you can't count them out. That offensive firepower is lethal. In week 1, anything can happen. It could be a shaky start. Bucs got that win. They might not be as hungry as they were last year compared to this year. Anything can happen week 1, so it's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, for sure. The Cowboys, they went defensively in the draft, of course, with Micah Parsons. So they were doing something to try to build their defense. But I got to agree with you. It's got to be a high-scoring game. The high-powered, I expect to be, of course, depending if Dak's going to play, high-powered Cowboys offense. You name the receivers, and I'm looking for a bounce-back season from both Zeke and Amari Cooper on the Cowboys offense against, I don't know, Levante David, Shaq Barrett, Devin White, thank you. A lot of great players there on the Bucs defense, so that's going to be interesting. And I do think that it should be a good game, but I expect the Bucs to come out on top. Defense wins football games, but it should be very interesting in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, one thing I really like about this game also is the amount of players that are looking for a bounce back, the offensive line, Zeke, but also on the Bucs. Not that these guys are looking for a backup, but some of these guys might be trying to rename their career, reshape how they look, their resumes for a possibly following offseason. You know, Ndamukong Suh's only on a 1-year deal. He may want to show he's still got it for a final big payday. AB, I just don't see the Bucs keeping Evans Godwin AB forever. Maybe AB's going to go on his last 1-year contract with the Bucs. He wants to prove something and bounce back. You could call it Leonard Fournette, crowded backfield. A lot of guys to really show what they got in this week 1 matchup in just a whole season. But matchup number 2, this is a big one. This could be a preview of the AFC Championship for all we know. Cleveland Browns at the Kansas City Chiefs. We know how much of an advantage is for the Chiefs in the quarterback matchup, Mahomes versus Baker. But outside of that, things get questionable. Browns have the better run game. Browns have the better O-line. Receiving core, pick your poison. Browns got more depth, but the Chiefs might have more star power at the top. And then on defense, Browns probably have more players on paper, but so many of them are new. Some of them have not been in the system consistently. Either a rookie, new to the team, got hurt, sat out due to COVID. They're just not in chemistry with each other. Chiefs, Andy Reid, that system, they've been together. A lot of pros and cons to this matchup for both sides.
Yeah, I see this as a great chance for Baker Mayfield to prove something. Obviously, the Browns fell short to the Chiefs last year. I think it was 23-17. Whatever the score was, divisional round, they just fell short to the Chiefs. They put up a good fight. I think this is a chance for Baker to prove something, come out week 1, maybe catch the Chiefs sleeping. I wouldn't expect Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and that Chiefs team to be sleeping, but I think it's a great chance for Baker to prove something. Maybe not even with a win, but put up a good fight in this game. I expect this to be a close one, but I guess I got to go Chiefs come out on top. But I think Baker puts up a good fight with the Browns.
Yeah, and another thing is, even though the Browns have the much better run game and Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and no disrespect to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but when you're playing Mahomes, how often is that game won on the ground? It's always a through-the-air battle. So I'm not only looking at Baker for this matchup to match Mahomes, but how's OBJ going to be in there helping out through the air in the receiving room? That's going to be a big piece to this team, especially playing a guy possibly like Tyrann Mathieu. That could be an interesting matchup. But as we know, these are 2 powerhouses in the AFC and could be an AFC championship. Like I said, Third matchup, Seahawks at the Annapolis Colts. Couple question marks about this one with the health of the Colts. Carson Wentz, he's expected to be in week 1, but will he be 110%? And again, Quentin Nelson, he had a similar injury to Carson Wentz. They're both projected on a similar timeline, but still 2 weeks away. No one wins. Any injury can happen. This is going to be a good matchup, in my opinion. I'd say the Seahawks probably got their more top-tier talented guys all around. Bobby Wagner's top of his position, Jamal Adams towards the top of his position, DK Metcalf, Russell Wilson. But then the Colts, top to bottom, I like their roster, so I think this is going to be a good battle. And the Colts, not necessarily saying they're going to win, but this week 1 weird matchup, being at home could be a big advantage for them.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are doubting the Colts, or at least doubting Wentz, and I'm one of them, so this is a chance for them to prove those people wrong. Of course, if Wentz is able to get in the game and prove that he's worth it. Seahawks, of course, also didn't end last year in any way, any manner that they would like to have. Russell Wilson started to turn over the ball a lot late last season. Jamal Adams didn't pan out quite nearly like they wanted him to, but now this offseason they extend him. Russ is hopefully back on his feet. I like the Seahawks. I think they have something to prove here over a Colts team that has a lot of hype around them just because they got a new quarterback that I don't think is going to work out well for them.
Yeah, it's weird how both quarterbacks are kind of chasing something. Yeah. Wentz is just trying to chase him being a starter, and Russ, he finally wants that MVP vote. It's just weird how they're on different standards, but this will be a good one. And the Colts, they got a tough stretch in their first 5 weeks. Off the top of my head, I think it's like Seahawks, Rams, Titans, Miami, Baltimore. First 5 weeks, I don't care what team you are, that's a tough stretch. So really, any win counts in this first 5 games for the Colts, and they might need a week 1 upset.
I need the Colts defense to step up and hopefully help out an offense, or try to help out an offense that might struggle early.
Yeah, no doubt. Fourth matchup this might be my most exciting one. Chargers at the Washington football team. I love Herbert. You guys know us if you keep up with the channel. It is going to be scary, though, for a brand new Chargers O-line that on paper has potential. Rashawn Slater, Oday Abushi, Corey Linsley, Matt Filer, Brian Bulaga, but they lack experience and they lack chemistry together. There's a new O-line, a new head coach, all things that I like, but these are all things that take time to gel. And when they're going to be playing possibly the best front four in football, Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, a very lethal defense top to bottom, it could be a mismatch that's going to be very interesting to see just because these teams are very lopsided one way or the other, in my opinion.
Yeah, we got a great young offense and a great young defense here in this matchup. We all like Herbert. Like you said, a lot of new stuff, new O-line, new head coach, a lot of new things for the Chargers. And like I said, football team, new guy under center probably in Ryan Fitzpatrick. Not new to the league, but of course new to the team. Yeah. So a lot of question marks in this matchup. But you highlighted already is that these two teams are very different. High-powered offense versus high-powered defense. So this one should be interesting to watch.
Yeah, the only thing scary for the Chargers is that they can't predict Fitzpatrick. That could be an advantage. That could be a disadvantage. You don't know if you're getting 300 yards, 3 touchdowns for him, or 100 yards and 3 picks. It's very hard to tell, but having a healthy Joey Bosa, healthy Derwin James, I'm going to be looking okay heading into this week 1 matchup. If I'm LA, at least I'd have some confidence. Final matchup, this is kind of a wild card play with the Packers at the Saints, with Jameis Winston now being the official starter for week 1. I really like Winston starting because this allows, I feel like everyone's thinking it's Winston or Hill, and it is in a sense at the starting position. But when you got Winston at quarterback, it's not like Hill can't be that utility guy, that tool guy still, where he could contribute in his special plays, aspects, and just very situational times. He could still contribute in that and help out Winston and still throw the ball on certain, wildcat formations or trick plays. And this could be a thing that catches the Packers off guard in week 1, just having so many question marks around this quarterback play, around the team. And they got some good pieces around. Sean Payton's an amazing head coach. Alvin Kamara's amazing in the backfield. Good production. Specks of amazing talent on the defense. Of course, I'm, kind of discrediting the Packers. They got Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Jair Alexander, and I'm not acting like they're nothing. But if you think the Packers are extremely favored and are going to win by a large margin, I would just rethink it.
Yeah, the biggest question mark for me does come in the quarterback position, but I'm looking at the Packers. I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers. I have no idea what it's like to be in his spot. I mean, does he want to play at his? Does he want to win? Does he want to play good football? I don't know. I'm assuming he does. But it just seems to still be a sketchy situation there in Green Bay. But yes, they have the best, or at least the top 2 receiver in the league. They re-signed Aaron Jones. They have a good Jair Alexander. They have a good cornerback there. So the Packers have their upsides. But on the other hand, the Saints, I personally am a fan of them, saying they're going to start Jameis Winston. But we know that with his time in the Bucs, I've paid attention to him a good amount. He's very inconsistent, can be a playmaker, can be an idiot sometimes. Yeah. So a lot of question marks on both sides. But the biggest one for me in this matchup is what is Aaron Rodgers going to play like?
Yeah, and going off of what you said about him, not being 100% buddy with the GM and with the front office, if they lose this week 1 matchup, that just could create
this
more.
could totally snowball into something else, and then all of a sudden he's not playing week 2.
Exactly. I'm curious to see it. I'm not rooting for one way or the other, but as fans, who doesn't love to feed off of the drama time to time?
100%.
I think that's it. That's all 5. And again, honorable mentions: Jets at Carolina, Miami at New England. Of course, there's other matchups out there. Trevor Lawrence versus the Texans really get his first win.
I wanted to mention that one just because I think that's a chance for the young Jags team with Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer, all these new guys to get a 1-0 start on the season. The Texans are a very beatable team.
And the one game Texans might have a chance.
That's true.
Well,
the Texans could also start 1-0. So I'll be watching that game just because it's interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
So those are our top 5 matchups. Comment below if you have any others that you're going to be watching. But as far as the question today, Jay, Super Bowl prediction, early one, what you got?
It's hard for me to predict against the Bucs. They're my favorite team, and they're the reigning Super Bowl champs, and I can't count out the GOAT. Might be the cliche pick and the biased pick, but until the crown is taken from them, I can't change it.
I'm gonna propose a matchup here. Ideally, this is what I would love to see. I would love to see Browns Bucs because I really want to see the Browns win the AFC, but I also want to see a Super Bowl where Tampa Bay makes it back. So I'm not going to say a winner, but I think my
That's
ideal...
what Skip Bayless picked.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that. My ideal matchup is going to be Bucs, Browns. Comment yours below. But guys, that's all for the video. Thanks for watching. 2-Minute Warning.